why simps are the biggest, and I'm not even using that term lightly, they are the biggest enemies of both men and women, right? And I just did a coaching video on simps, and let me tell you, man, these guys are the biggest weasels that you could possibly allow in your life. Okay, simps are, for the most part, they are just con men. They constantly have an ulterior motive whenever there's a female around. They can never just be genuine. They can never be authentic. They always have an ulterior motive. And their ulterior motive is usually to get the girl, right? And they will throw you under the bus. They will ruin, years of friendship with you. Could have been your best friend for years and years. They will destroy that friendship. Doesn't matter. Burn bridges. All of that for a female. Okay? And these guys literally are the reason for all of the divisiveness you see out in the world, all of the craziness, like the fact that it feels like we're living in crazy town half the time, the world's upside down. You know who's responsible for all that? It's not women, it's simps. Who opens the door for women to do these things? Because a lot of you guys be like, no, it's third wave feminism. That's who's responsible, Em. Who opened the door for third wave feminism? Men did, right? Not men. Simps. They're the ones who open the door for these things, right? Because really, and I've said this many times, and women really, to be honest with you, they cannot make a move in society. They cannot get power in society without a man, a male, giving it to them. Basically, a simp giving it to them or opening the door for them. Women don't give each other power, right? They get it from men because, to the feminist talking point, we're living in a patriarchy, right? It's a patriarchal society that was built and designed by men. Not by women, but by men. So, in order to get power from this patriarchal society, you have to manipulate some men out there. Well, males, right? And who are those males that get manipulated the most? If not always, simps. And whenever a real man tries to stand up and say, no, I don't think this is a good idea, I'm putting my foot down on this, you will have him being attacked by a mob of simps who will shame that dude or try to use manipulation tactics on him to get him to comply, to strong-arm him, to twist his arm, to get him to go along. And that's what's happening, right? If you look at the highest levels of government, the highest levels of any major corporation that is allowing for a lot of this wokeness to enter, cancel culture, this policing of speech, this infringement on our freedoms, who's allowing this to happen? It's not women, it's simps, right? It's guys who are simping to the female, simping to women, right? That is who is responsible for this. And this is why we have kind of like the weird Matrix style culture we're living in now, where it's like everything is ass backwards, right? It's like people call good evil and people call evil good, right? It's like we're living in a culture where, you have people like Miley Cyrus getting on stage, singing to a bunch of 11-year-olds wearing a strap-on dildo. Who allows this? Simps, right? It's not men who's allowing this. It's the simps of the world who is just forging the path for all of this destruction, evil, demonic behavior, dare I say, satanic behavior to become normalized in society. Right? Because I get a lot of guys who do blame modern feminism. I get that. But modern feminism period, would never have existed without simps allowing it to happen, kicking in the door, right? Simps in government, really, simps with these corporations, simps who are in high places in the world, who've allowed this. Because if they didn't simp to women, they would be like, no. If they did what was right, what was good, what was pure, they would be like, no. This is going to lead to degeneracy of society. This is going to lead to really evil morals. This is going to lead to destruction. Why would I allow that? But because these guys are simping to the feminine, they think at some point like they're going to get in good with women, or they're going to get, they're going to get laid from this, and they basically sell out society, right? They sell out men, they sell out women, they sell out society, they sell out future generations. Who's responsible for all this? The simps of the world, the simps in government, the simps in the C-level executive suites of these major corporations, the simps that are talking heads on corporate media, mainstream news, the simps that are late night talk show hosts, all of these simps who are simping to the feminine and not putting their foot down and doing what they know deep in their hearts are right. Well, maybe they don't know anymore. Maybe they've just been too perverted, too desensitized to it because they're so used to spewing this garbage that now it's become normal for them. It's sad because I see a lot of grooming out there, right? A lot of with this woke culture. I mean, this is why I don't even watch Hollywood TV shows, movies. I don't watch any of that stuff. Some of you guys are like, no, this one was okay. Spider-Man was okay. I'm like, which one? You're like, you didn't see Coming Home? It's great. Oh, everybody loved it. No woke. And I'm like, yeah. And then you Google the actor Tom Holland, and he's sitting there saying like how he wants to step aside so a female can take over the role of Spider-Man. I'm like, sounds pretty woke to me, dude. I'm not supporting that movie. Not supporting buying any of those products. I'm not supporting any of it, right? Because that is how all of this grooming happens, right? A lot of you guys are like, you don't understand what grooming is. Basically, you have the entire like mainstream media and all of these woke corporations grooming society to accept something that even just 20 years ago was detestable, repulsive, disgusting, gross. But now a lot of people are like, oh, that's okay. Why? Because you've been groomed, son. You've been desensitized to it because you allow this into your life. You allow your eyeballs to see this. You allow your brain to see this. This is why I don't watch movies. I don't pay for that shit. I don't need it in my life. Not only do I not have time for it because I'm busy running my business and taking care of my family and my dogs. You have to really be be just alert in life to recognize it. And I mean, I've even had a couple of guys like with large followings try to troll like a video I did from like 8 years ago talking about how I don't watch any Hollywood movies. And they're like, oh, seems a little extreme, man. Seems a little extreme. You could watch a movie and enjoy it, Fast forward several years later, I think that video aged quite well, right? Quite well. Even though the format back then was, kind of like more scripted than today. Now I just kind of go off the cuff because I'm better at creating content. But back then when I first started, I would make sure to script out my bullet points that I really wanted to touch upon. I think I got like trolled for doing that. And it's like, dude, it was 2013 when I shot that video. Go screw yourself. And you're trying to like present it as if I just shot that like 2 months ago. Right? But that was the format back in 2013. And then these clowns were, who are woke themselves, were like, I think it's just going a little too far with this. It's okay. You can enjoy a movie. It won't affect you if you're a real strong alpha male. A movie won't affect you. It's like, no, dude. Several movies in a row will start to affect you. It will start to desensitize you. Look up the term grooming. How do pedophiles groom children? This is exactly how. By desensitizing them. Just they push a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. Just the trolls I was talking about are themselves are simps. Because these guys are simps. Did they back me up? Did they go, hey, this guy has a point? Yes, he has a point. I could see where he's going with this. No, they're like, oh, it's so cringy. No, oh, it's so scripted. It's like, dude, all my points were right. On the mark. I will stand by them. To this day, right? Almost 10 years later. To this day, I stand by everything I said. I was right. I have even more knowledge than I did back then. All right? And I don't need to go off the script anymore. I can go off the cuff because there's so much to talk about. However, at the end of the day, who is responsible for all this? Simps, right? Simps. And I've always told you guys, beta males get rewarded for what they say, much like these online trolls, while alpha males get rewarded for what they do. Okay, so beta males get rewarded for what they say, like all these talking heads you see on TV, all these politicians, like blah, 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 we need to empower more women, and blah, blah, blah. Kids should be learning about sex at, at 5 years old, and blah, blah, blah. There's 2 mommies, 2 daddies, make sure these kids who are not even in nursery school know this. You don't see alpha males out there talking, right? They're just doing. And, sadly, who's responsible for everything that's going on right now? If you ask anybody, right, anybody who is old enough to remember, you could ask them, were we more divided as a country than we were 20 years ago? Of course they'll say, yeah, absolutely. If you ask them, are people more concerned about racism more than 20 years ago? You'll be like, absolutely. Right? How is this possible? How is this possible that 20 years ago most people were not so concerned about racism or divided politically? How is this possible? It's possible because, well, mainstream media has put it into your brains this should be front page, even though, it's very hard to actually go out there and it really triggers somebody to say something racist to you. Most people don't think like that, but the media wants you to think like that, right? They want you to stay in that constant mindset where you're being oppressed, you're a victim, and you're in fear. Why? Because that's how they control you, right? No different how pedophiles groom children, right? But it's sad to me that a lot of people get taken in by that because they're so weak mentally. They're so weak. They're looking so hard for an excuse for why they're failing in life, and they latch onto that. But who's responsible for that in itself? The simps of the world. The simps of the world who are out there, who have power, who are pushing this out onto humanity and going, hey, this is what's normal. This is what is reality, when it's not. Okay, they're pushing a very subjective reality, not an objective reality. Okay, but who's responsible? The simps of the world. Tell me I'm wrong. As always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Share any of ideas that I might have missed, anything you'd like to add. Share them in the comments below. Always love to see you guys in my comments. Always love to read them, so drop those comments below. So until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets, signing out here from top of Vegas. Have an excellent view, as always.